Alright, welcome back to part 2 of fixing the nose of this board. So we've got our resin mixed to the proper ratio. It's a hot day today, so we're very aware of making sure we get this resin and apply this fairly quickly, so that it doesn't go off on us, go hard. I'm using a roller just to nicely get a nice even layer across through here, bringing the resin up to the tape line. Right, so we'll move this away. So now, make sure you got some your side. Take it to you. A bit more. Centre. You got enough?
Yep.
And you're set. Okay, just drop it on. Alright. Cool. So we'll just use the roller and this one. So now what I'm going to do is just mould this around. Yep, it can be deemed as being at the moment a little bit wasteful with the carbon, but I'm fussy in making sure that we allow the weave to naturally form around the board. You can start to see now where our pattern is. And I'll use the offcuts of the carbon we will use for other bits and pieces. I've got to do this job really well because I've got the owner of the board right here. Your quality assurance, mate. One of the dedicated parents of one of our youth board riders. So this is a fairly important board, eh? So a good question that's been asked is would this be a modification and compliant with IQ? We're repairing it and maintaining this board, so it still complies to IQ rules. It's not a modification. We are just maintaining it and fixing it. This is maintenance. Interestingly, there's probably some discussion around that point. Maybe if some of the IQ committee members are tapped into that topic, or this particular topic, it's something that they need to discuss, because I'm sure there's some ambiguity around it. Ambiguity, what's the word? Have a look in. All right, Ian?
Getting close. A little bit more on this edge, I think. Just as it comes down to on this tail. Yeah.
Quality control coming in. So once this is on and the peel ply is holding this back, I'll come back to this later on when it's semi-dry and I can trim this off.
You can see in the sunlight.
Yeah. The key thing with all fiberglass, there's a rule, you know, the person that puts it on has got to take it off. So if you make a real crap job of this, then it's harder to clean up. So you try and, when it's wet, when you're putting this on wet, now's the time to get it right. And then it's easy to trim back. How's that looking?
Getting.
It looks all a bit wet there, eh?
Yeah, it's hard to know where the
the
Fine,
tape
right.
line
Can you
is.
go over with
Yeah,
too much?
yeah,
And
because
cut back?
yeah, no, because we've got that tape line,
Yes. No problem.
and as we're saying, we don't want a dry laminate. We want it to be a nice.
I think if you can stand where I am, you can see the wetness of the epoxy.
Oh, you can too.
Then you can see whether we're.
That's better, Ian. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this. Just not to the line, but just get rid of some of the weight. Yep, got it. Cool. So I'll leave the top. So now we've got rid of some of that weight. We can see the cloth's naturally working its way around to this chine line, which will be the trim line. But we don't want to pull all this weave. So now we can put peel ply on. Try there.
I think the line came to about here. I thought, just to be safe.
Yeah.
You can feel the tape underneath.
Yep, you can, eh? I think you're right. Yeah. You can hear the tape now, eh?
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, you can see it. There you go. You can see the tape line. Yep. We can just see the tape line now so that we know that we are. There's a bit dry there, eh?
Mm.
Nice. Let's just get that peel ply. So we want to drop this on in one go. So you've got enough over there. Yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Drop it down. Good. Just enough. Right, so scissors. Okay. Now, grab this. I'll actually do this first. So if we've got our resin content correct, this peel ply should look nice and even, nice and wet. So all I'm doing is using this roller to now just push down any areas that are just a little bit floating. We can start to see this shape. It looks good. I'm really happy with this. So like anything with fiberglass, you've got to be pre-organized, pre-cut, make sure in your head you know what you're going to do and have your system worked out, because once it's mixed there's limited time. And I have been known to do a job and it's turned to custard and I've ripped the whole lot off and quickly cleaned the job up with acetone, because it's much better to I would sooner do a second attempt and do a good attempt than if something has just not worked and I've run out of time, then I've ripped the whole lot off and started again. Costs, yeah, but that's how it is. That looks nice and wet right through. So now what I do, just using pieces of tape, and all I'm doing is just start from the front and work out concentrically, and this has been taped. I'm sure all you vacuum bagging fans out there will be going, oh, come on, get this vacuum bagged. But this does a good job too. So the peel ply material, the waft and weft, is not as flexible as the carbon, so you can see how I've worked from the center and worked out with distances and sort of manipulated where the pinch points are, but the pinch points are away from the cut line, so all of our nice nose cone is not affected by the pinch of the cloth. You don't really want to start cutting peel ply, because then you get joins in it. Doesn't look nice. It's a really hot, I can feel the heat and the sun on my back. So I'm working pretty quickly here because I'm thinking that this is going to go hard quicker than normal. It's a beautiful hot sunny day here in Auckland, and everybody's actually going to get out on the water this afternoon. How's that look, Ian?
Looks great.
You happy? Let's just bring that in there. I can actually smell the resin as well. Epoxy resin, when it starts to go hard, it gives off a smell and creates its own heat. So, pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to clean this up now, but for the sake of keeping the video fairly short, primarily that's what I've done for to seal the cracks in this particular board, to keep its structural integrity safe and to keep water out from the board and therefore maintain its value. Is it a modification or an improvement? This is maintenance as far as I'm concerned. Later on, when this is semi-dry, I will trim this off with a sharp knife, use my tape line to identify the trim line and cut that off as well, take the waste away, take this away. I should be left with a nice clean line on the bottom and a really nice clean line on the top. And the last thing I'll do is remove the peel ply. So maybe I'll come back and do maybe a 5-minute shot just to show you the finished product. Thanks for watching.